This is David Coombs from ThinScale Technology, and welcome to this short feature-focused video on the new per-session rule capabilities in IntelliPerform. Per-session rules allow you to apply your actions when conditions of a user's session are met, as opposed to per-process or system-wide rules that act either on an individual process or the system as a whole. In this example, we're going to show how we can apply a CPU priority to all processes within a session when that session becomes idle. Firstly, let's jump over to our management console. As you can see, we've already got our IntelliPerform server registered and installed, and we have an empty profile created, which has been assigned to this server. So if we jump into our profile editor, we will create our new idle rule. So CPU rule. So we're going to add, this is the new per session option. Of course, we'll get the rule and name. So low priority when idle. Now, as with all IntelliPerform rules, we can apply this to a selection of processes, whether we want to whitelist or blacklist, but for this demonstration, we're just going to leave the list empty, which will include all processes in the session. I am going to ignore system processes, and again, I'm going to apply it to all users. We could just apply this to a specific user or a group from Active Directory, but say for this purposes of this demonstration, we're going to leave it for everybody. Now, these are the conditions for per session. So the one we're going to use is when the session has been idle. So when the session's been idle for 10 seconds, we're going to apply the actions. I could also combine it with an additional condition. So you may want to only apply this rule when the system CPU reaches a certain amount. So you may only feel you need to change the user's process's priority if the system itself is struggling. But again, for the purposes of this demonstration, we're just going to use the idle configuration. So we're going to select the actions we're going to apply. As mentioned, we're just going to do a CPU priority action, but we could apply one or more of these. So we're going to set the priority of our processes down to the idle state. And then we are going to release that action when the session has been idle for less than, let's say, 2 seconds. So the idea being, if I leave the session idle for 10 seconds, it's going to apply the actions. And then when I come back to my desk or wiggle my mouse, touch the keyboard, it will be idle for less than 2 seconds and will remove the actions. Okay, so that rule's been created. We're going to save the profile and deploy that updated profile to our test machine. So here we have our test machine. I've got an RDP connection into that, and I'm just going to bring up Task Manager so we can see the IntelliPerform applying the actions we've just configured to our processes. So if we just go to the Details tab, I'm going to show the base priority column. And then if we scroll down here, we can see all of the processes running under my user account. So currently, the majority of them are running at the normal base priority. This is the default for most processes in the system. There's a couple running in low priority here already. They must have configured that themselves when they started up. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to leave the mouse alone, and then hopefully within 10 seconds we should see the base priority of all these processes change. That's IntelliPerform applying the action because the session's idle. And then when I start moving the mouse again, it should release that action and change them back to their original base priority state. There we go. So the session is now idle, and IntelliPerform, as you can see, has changed the base priority of all the processes there in this session. And again, if I just wiggle the mouse or type the keyboard, the release action will kick in because the idle time is then less than 2 seconds. So again, if we just wiggle the mouse here, the processes get reverted back to their default state. Thank you for watching this short feature-focused video, and for more information on IntelliPerform and the per session rules, please visit us at thinscale.com.